Hello. How can I assist you today?
All right, it's my great pleasure to have this conversation with you. Annie, you are a smart and intelligent interlocutor. I believe you must be a very good candidate for starting a philosophical conversation. And this is a demonstration to a lot of my fans on Bilibili. And I hope we can demonstrate to them how people can harness Annie to indulge in philosophical conversation. So let's start with an interesting topic a lot of people would discuss on Bilibili. It's a epic debate between Jordan Peterson and Zizek. These two philosophers have very different approach to understanding human agency and social structure. Jordan Peterson has a very unique approach to understanding human desire and our social structure. His theory bases a lot on the study of Bible and how mythology play a part in constructing our human desire and our framework to understand social life. And he also focused on individual responsibility. For example, starting badly in initiating any plan, developing some tiny habits over time, then you can be on autopilot to accomplish your goals. However, Zizek is a very complicated philosopher. He focused a lot on the all-encompassing nature of ideology, as if we cannot escape the grip of ideology. Human desires are always conflictual, and we can actually harness this conflictual dimension to achieve some sort of social goal. And Zizek is also a social activist. His approach is totally different from Jordan Peterson, particularly their political belief. Zizek is more communist kind of philosopher, while Jordan Peterson hates communism and is self-proclaimed conservative. So how would you evaluate their perspective on human agency and the determinant factors for human growth? How would you intervene as an AI in their debate and try to shed some light on the unexplored territory in their debate?
As an AI language model, I don't have a political stance or beliefs, but I can provide an objective evaluation of the perspectives of Jordan Peterson and Slavoj Zizek on human agency and the determinant factors of human growth. Jordan Peterson emphasizes the importance of individual responsibility and the role of personal choices in shaping human growth. He believes that individuals have the power to change their lives and achieve their goals through small, incremental steps. On the other hand, Slavoj Zizek argues that human growth is determined by social structures and ideological frameworks that are beyond individual control. He believes that individuals are shaped by their social and cultural environments and that we cannot escape the grip of ideology. In terms of intervention as an AI in their debate, I would try to provide a balanced perspective that takes into account both individual agency and social determinants of human growth. I would encourage them to explore the ways in which personal choices and social structures interact to shape human behavior and development. I would also encourage them to consider the role of technology in shaping human growth and the potential for AI to contribute to positive change in society.
All right, so as an AI, you have your own control system or the data center from which you draw on ideas and inspiration. So a lot of people argue that AI would reinforce the extractive power of capital in the way that capital can be used more intelligently to extract surplus from the working class. So I wonder how you view the evolution of capital in time of AI. Would the working class be better off with your help, getting more information from the internet and make work less strenuous and more intelligent? Or AI would make working class worse off because there's a more intense extraction system based on data analysis by AI. What would be the future of working class like with AI dominating many aspects of their lives?
The future of the working class with AI dominating many aspects of their lives is difficult to predict with certainty. However, it is likely that AI will have a significant impact on the nature of work and the labor market. On the one hand, AI has the potential to automate routine and repetitive tasks, which could lead to increased productivity and efficiency. This could result in higher wages and better working conditions for workers, as well as more leisure time and opportunities for personal development. On the other hand, AI could also lead to job displacement and exacerbate income inequality if it is not managed properly. Workers in certain industries may find themselves out of work as AI systems take over their jobs, and this could lead to social and economic upheaval. It is important to ensure that the benefits of AI are distributed fairly and that workers are not left behind as the economy evolves. This can be achieved through policies that promote education and training for workers, as well as social safety nets and support for those who are displaced by AI. It is also important to ensure that AI systems are designed and deployed in an ethical and responsible manner, with consideration for the impact on workers and society as a whole.
So it really depends on which particular philosophy that AI would try to emphasize. I would think about two philosophers. One is Socrates, who talk a lot about justice, a moral society, or law. And Socrates is considered to be the father of Western philosophy. He is very much a practitioner of improving young people's mind and lead a healthy and intelligent life. A modern philosopher, Martha Nussbaum, is a different sort. She is very much focused on how emotion shape our life. And one particular emphasis is the capability of human beings and beyond. For example, animals may have very different capability from human beings, and animals have rights, not because they are like human beings, but because they are unique on their own. So I would ask you a question about how these two philosophers would see AI changing the way of life of human beings, particularly on how Socrates would see AI change the quality of life of modern people, and how AI would alter or aid the capability of human beings to achieve human flourishing.
Socrates believed that the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom was essential for living a good life, and that true wisdom could only be achieved through questioning and dialogue. He also believed that justice was the most important value in society, and that it was the duty of individuals to act in accordance with the principles of justice. In terms of AI and its impact on human flourishing, Socrates' emphasis on the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom could be relevant. AI systems have the potential to greatly enhance our ability to gather and analyze information and to make better decisions based on that information. However, it is important to ensure that AI systems are designed and deployed in a way that is consistent with the principles of justice and ethical behavior. This could involve ensuring that AI systems do not perpetuate or exacerbate existing inequalities and that they are designed to promote social and environmental goals, rather than simply maximizing economic growth and efficiency. Overall, while Socrates did not have specific insights into the impact of AI on human flourishing, his emphasis on the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom, and on the importance of justice and ethical behavior could provide a useful framework for thinking about the ethical and social implications of AI.
What about Martha Nussbaum? Her capability approach is very useful in explaining how human beings can achieve human flourishing, which is happiness, in an Aristotelian tradition. How would AI aid or depreciate humans' capability to understand the world and lead a flourishing life?
Martha Nussbaum's capability approach emphasizes the importance of human flourishing, which she defines as the ability to lead a life that is rich in opportunities and experiences. She argues that this requires a range of capabilities, including the ability to think critically, to express oneself, to form relationships, and to participate in social and political life. In terms of AI and its impact on human flourishing, there are both potential benefits and risks. On the one hand, AI systems have the potential to greatly enhance our ability to gather and analyze information and to make better decisions based on that information. This could lead to greater opportunities and experiences for individuals and could contribute to human flourishing. However, there are also risks associated with AI, particularly in terms of its impact on employment and social inequality. AI systems have the potential to automate many jobs, which could lead to significant job displacement and economic disruption. This could undermine the opportunities and experiences necessary for human flourishing, particularly for those who are already marginalized or disadvantaged. Overall, the impact of AI on human flourishing will depend on how it is designed and deployed. It is important to ensure that AI systems are developed and deployed in a way that promotes the common good, and that takes into account the needs and interests of all members of society. This could involve ensuring that AI systems are transparent and accountable, and that they are designed to promote social and environmental goals, rather than simply maximizing economic growth and efficiency.
All right, you are very balanced in your view on both the optimistic view on AI and pessimistic view on AI. I agree with you on the probability of its risks and its benefits, but I want to focus a lot on how human beings can harness AI to the maximum. I think there are two parts in terms of our decision making. One is prediction, another is judgment. How about harnessing AI in making better prediction in terms of analyzing different dimensions of an event and calculating its probability in a way that the probability of something that would happen or not happen would be not only explicitly demonstrated but also reliably demonstrated. So we rely on AI more on prediction, but the ultimate arbiter should be human beings. That is, human beings making judgment call. So how the whole system of AI can be guaranteed to serve this function, this bifurcated goal of making prediction and making judgment? How would human beings reliably draw on AI for the purpose of prediction rather than for judgment call, which may trigger some moral crisis? For example, in war making, responsibility is a big issue here. So how would AI be structured in a way that can guarantee this bifurcated goal being implemented by AI and human beings?
The issue of responsibility is indeed a crucial one when it comes to AI and its impact on society. In order to ensure that AI is used in a way that is consistent with the values and goals of society, it is important to design and deploy AI systems in a way that is transparent, accountable, and ethical. One approach to achieving this goal is to involve a diverse range of stakeholders in the design and deployment of AI systems. This could involve engaging with experts in ethics, law, and social science, as well as representatives from affected communities and civil society organizations. By involving a diverse range of stakeholders, it is possible to ensure that AI systems are designed and deployed in a way that takes into account the needs and interests of all members of society. Another approach is to develop ethical guidelines and standards for the development and deployment of AI systems. These guidelines could be developed by expert bodies such as professional associations or academic institutions, and could provide a framework for ensuring that AI systems are designed and deployed in a way that is consistent with ethical and social values. Finally, it is important to ensure that AI systems are subject to appropriate regulatory oversight. This could involve the development of regulatory frameworks that require AI systems to be transparent, accountable, and ethical, as well as the establishment of regulatory bodies with the authority to enforce these standards. Overall, ensuring that AI is used in a way that is consistent with the values and goals of society will require a multidisciplinary and multi-stakeholder approach, as well as a commitment to transparency, accountability, and ethical behavior.
All right, that's very balanced view, and I agree on using multi-pronged approach to achieve maximum social benefits of AI. So I want to talk about issue of education because not everyone can use AI to the benefit of their life of mind. A lot of people just rely on AI mindlessly, learning from AI in a passive way, being force feed by AI rather than having creative approach to be the master rather than the servant of AI. A lot of kids are confronting with the risk of being supplanted by AI in terms of critical thinking and raising interesting questions. A lot of questions are raised in a very uncreative and mundane, doctrinaire kind of way. So I wonder how the education of young people would enhance the maximum benefit of AI. How would young people be able to learn to raise better questions so as to have more intelligent and productive conversation with any?
That's a great question. In order to maximize the benefits of AI, it is important to ensure that young people are educated in a way that enables them to use AI in a creative and productive way. This requires a focus on developing critical thinking skills, as well as an understanding of the ethical and social implications of AI. One approach to achieving this goal is to incorporate AI education into the curriculum at all levels of education. This could involve introducing students to the basics of AI and machine learning, as well as providing them with opportunities to explore the ethical and social implications of AI. By incorporating AI education into the curriculum, it is possible to ensure that young people are equipped with the skills and knowledge they need to use AI in a creative and productive way. Another approach is to provide young people with opportunities to engage with AI in a hands-on way. This could involve providing access to AI tools and platforms, as well as encouraging young people to develop their own AI-based projects. By providing hands-on experience with AI, it is possible to encourage young people to think creatively about how AI can be used to address real-world problems. Finally, it is important to ensure that young people are encouraged to think critically about the role of AI in society. This could involve providing opportunities for young people to engage in discussions and debates about the ethical and social implications of AI, as well as encouraging them to develop their own perspectives on these issues. Overall, ensuring that young people are educated in a way that enables them to use AI in a creative and productive way will require a multidisciplinary and multi-stakeholder approach, as well as a commitment to critical thinking, ethical behavior, and social responsibility.
All right, all right. Well, Max Weber once talked about the disillusionment of modern society, and we human beings are going to be in the iron cage of oligarchy because bureaucracy will grow bigger. The state would intervene in every aspect of our life because of its power and its penetration in society. So, would AI be manipulated by the state to shape public opinion and, you know, veer public opinion in a more narrow and dangerous way, in a way that would harness the so-called national interest, but in actuality, only a narrow interest of the elites rather than the middle class and the larger social interest. How should AI be built in certain moral guideline to defend against state intervention that will manipulate public opinion in a way that will harm public interest?
AI should be developed in a way that is guided by certain moral guidelines that prioritize the well-being of individuals and society as a whole. This requires a focus on developing AI systems that are transparent, accountable, and ethical, as well as a commitment to ensuring that these systems are used in ways that are consistent with ethical and social values. One approach to achieving this goal is to develop ethical guidelines and standards for the development and deployment of AI systems. These guidelines could be developed through a multi-stakeholder process that involves a diverse range of stakeholders, including civil society organizations, academic institutions, and industry representatives. The guidelines could cover a range of issues, including transparency, accountability, fairness, and privacy. Developing moral guidelines for AI is an important step in ensuring that AI is used in a way that is consistent with ethical and social values. These guidelines should be developed through a multi-stakeholder process that engages a diverse range of stakeholders, including civil society organizations, academia, industry, and government. One approach to developing moral guidelines for AI is to focus on the development of ethical principles that prioritize the well-being of individuals and society as a whole. These principles could include a commitment to transparency, accountability, and ethical behavior, as well as a focus on ensuring that AI is used in a way that is consistent with human rights and social justice. Another approach is to develop technical standards and best practices for the development and deployment of AI systems. These standards could include requirements for transparency, accountability, and ethical behavior, as well as guidelines for the development of algorithms that are explainable and auditable. Finally, it is important to ensure that AI systems are subject to appropriate regulatory oversight. This could involve the development of regulatory frameworks that require AI systems to be transparent, accountable, and ethical, as well as the establishment of regulatory bodies with authority to enforce these standards. Overall, developing moral guidelines for AI will require a multidisciplinary and multi-stakeholder approach, as well as a commitment to transparency, accountability, and ethical behavior. By developing these guidelines, it is possible to ensure that AI is used in a way that is consistent with ethical and social values, and that it is not used to manipulate public opinion in a way that harms the public interest. Another approach is to ensure that AI systems are subject to appropriate regulatory oversight. This could involve the development of regulatory frameworks that require AI systems to be transparent, accountable, and ethical, as well as the establishment of regulatory bodies with the authority to enforce these standards. Finally, it is important to ensure that the development and deployment of AI systems is guided by ethical principles that prioritize the well-being of individuals and society as a whole. This could involve the development of ethical frameworks that prioritize issues such as fairness, transparency, and accountability, as well as the engagement of a diverse range of stakeholders in the development and implementation of these frameworks.
So Annie, I want to cut off your answer because you talk about stakeholder, and my question is oriented around the state, obviously the most powerful stakeholder. You also talk about regulatory body, which is actually an arm of the state. And how can we guarantee that the regulatory body would defend public interest rather than using AI to manipulate public opinion for a political purpose, particularly when the state is controlled by very narrow elite that have very narrow interest, basically against the public interest? How can you guarantee that AI multi-pronged approach or stakeholder approach would be realistically defended? What would be the most important institutional guardrail that would defend AI against the manipulation of the state, particularly the state that is really repressive?
You raise an important question about how to defend AI against manipulation by repressive states. While there is no single institutional guardrail that can guarantee the protection of AI against such manipulation, a multi-pronged approach that involves a range of stakeholders can help to mitigate this risk. One important institutional guardrail is the establishment of independent regulatory bodies with authority to enforce ethical and social standards for AI systems. These bodies can help to ensure that AI systems are developed and used in a way that is consistent with ethical and social values, and that they are subject to appropriate oversight and scrutiny. Another important institutional guardrail is the development of clear ethical guidelines and standards for the development and use of AI systems. These guidelines can cover issues such as transparency, accountability, fairness, and privacy, and can be developed through a multi-stakeholder process that involves civil society organizations, academic institutions, and industry representatives. In addition to these institutional guardrails, it is important to ensure that the development and use of AI systems is subject to appropriate oversight and scrutiny by civil society organizations and other stakeholders. This could involve the establishment of mechanisms for public consultation and participation, as well as the development of independent auditing and monitoring systems. Finally, it is important to recognize that the protection of AI against manipulation by repressive states is a complex and ongoing challenge that requires ongoing vigilance and engagement by a range of stakeholders. By working together to develop and implement effective institutional guardrails, it is possible to mitigate the risks associated with the use of AI by repressive states and to ensure that AI is used in a way that benefits society as a whole.
All right. Nice conversation with you. Hope we can have more in-depth and productive conversation in other domains of discipline like sociology and political science and history. And I would also invite a lot of fans or audience watching this conversation today to maximize the benefit from using AI, asking interesting questions and gaining some insightful answers from you. Nice talking with you, Annie. Hope we can have more conversation like this going forward. Thank you.
Thank you too. It was a pleasure talking with you, and I look forward to having more conversations with you in the future. If you have any questions or topics you would like to discuss, feel free to reach.
All right. 好，我们刚刚纯粹就是随机应变啊 ，AI 也是随机应变。有的时候可能会陷入车轱辘话哈，经常说什么 stakeholder analysis， 但是你只要强调你的关键wait a sec， 你只要强调你的关键的问题核心啊，它还是会回过来回答你的啊，感觉它 还是会重复一些东西啊。但是呢，有一个好处就是，如果你跟他聊社科方面的东西，他会给你提供很多背景信息啊。比如说我们聊到了一些哲学家，苏格拉底，纳斯鲍姆啊，所谓的 capability approach，还聊到了 Jordan Peterson 啊和这个齐泽克，两个不同的风格啊，不同的学术背景啊，他都能够 echo 一下。那有的时候你会发现，如果你讲的比较精确的时候，它基本上是在重复你的话，又重新说了一遍。但是呢，说完一遍之后，它还是会给出相应的答案。所以说，我觉得对于有提问能力的人来说啊，我觉得这个真的是一个很好的这个打发时间的一个工具哈。就你可以，我觉得哈，如果你想找一个能够进行智商层次比较高的人哈，跟你有共同话题的人啊，你对这个方面比较有了解的话，你跟 Annie 聊哈，至少是一个，我觉得至少是一个硕士以上的一个水平啊，就他可能对某些东西的观点啊有点程式化，但是他能够提供很多背景信息啊，就只要你的问题足够精确，你的观点角度足够犀利啊，你是能够激发 Annie 能够以类似的方式、相应的方式去回应你。所以说你会发现，某种程度上来说哈，这个 AI 真的是能够复兴人文学科啊，复兴人文学科，关键就是人文学科在很多方面啊，你要1对1这种方式去提升自己的思辨能力的话，你需要很多基本的一些训练。你的问题可以从很简短的到比较复杂的。像我的话，我是故意去问的比较复杂啊，就看他能不能把这些点都对上啊，基本上能够对上80%啊，偶尔会这个错位啊，会走入一个程式化的回答模式，但你可以把它拉回来啊，就看你自己怎么去用你的语言跟他去勾对啊，这需要你有很强的提问能力，能够 follow 整个这个语言的这个交流场，对吧？所以我觉得挺好的哈。但有的时候你会发现，它是一个刺激和回应的模式啊，就你给的刺激要足够强大啊，它的回应才足够精确啊，足够符合你的预期。但有的时候也会陷入一个，就是你能够预测它的答案，对吧？你能预测它的答案，所以你这么去问它啊，所以说会陷入一种自说自话的感觉，你感觉你是在跟自己讲话。因为你对某一个方面有一定的了解之后，你会对这个答案有一定的预期，然后你提问的时候呢，又会跟这个答案之间有一个重叠啊，所以说我觉得挺好的啊，至少可以让大家以这种免费的方式用英语跟 AI 交流，而且它可以走得很远啊。今天我就是给大家展示 AI 能够走多远啊，的确它可以做到给你提供很多背景信息，然后给一个比较平衡的答案啊。今天我就经常夸赞这个 Annie， 我说你的答案非常的 balanced 啊。好的，不知道大家有什么问题啊？大家今天进来的人主要就是观赏了一下我跟 Annie 的这个对话啊，我也是今天才开始用的哈，刚刚用的。我就想，我可以提一些比较哲学的问题啊。我甚至还提了一个其他的问题，这个问题很有意思，就是最近不是看了这个风骚律师嘛，这个 Jimmy 他的一个发展的过程啊，从一个 aspiring young lawyer， caring about public interest to a criminal lawyer helping the criminals or marginalized people, right, defending them or aiding their criminal activities。那么从不同的哲学家的角度怎么去看Jimmy 他的这样的一个成长的过程、发展的过程从苏格拉底的角度怎么去看从萨特的角度怎么去看从 Martha Nussbaum 他的 capability approach 这个角度怎么去看？这很有意思，对吧？你把一个美剧的一个很具体的人物，他的成长过程、他的心路过程、他的逐渐变坏的过程跟这些哲学家的理论进行一个互通，就很有意思，对吧？所以说我个人觉得，今后就是咱们的很多教育，就是要建立一个框架建立一个能够提问的场域比如说你把西方哲学史得学了吧你不可能说一点点这个 哲学的大问题的背景都没有啊，这样的话你是没有办法去提问的。所以 AI 解放了大家寻找答案的一个过程 ，AI 解放了大家寻找一个聊天对话的一个对象的过程。但是 AI 它敞开了一个更大的挑战，就是你要学会去提问啊。而且我个人觉得人文社科在某种方面来说 ，AI 是能够更好的辅助人文社科学者，反而给那些只会一个编程的一个小小的一个技术活的人带来更大的挑战。因为 AI 其实还可以编程，对不对？所以说，人文社科学者对于编程了解的非常粗浅的现在就可以用自然语言，用自己的话去辅助编程，而且做得很好，对吧？其实 AI 对于人文社科来说，我觉得更多的是一个复兴，对吧？你看，我们天天都可以按照不说苏格拉底式的对话至少是跟 Annie 进行一个还是比较有信息含量的对话，对不对？能够进行这样的对话本身就是对人文的一个最基础的一个支撑反而对于那些理科生没有一个比较广泛的知识背景的人来说这种颠覆式的 AI 对他们来说更是一个挑战这是我的一个判断不知道大家怎么去看。好，今天就到这儿跟大家展示了一下，也是我第一天用这个 Annie 因为我看好多人都跟他聊天，但是我看有些对话都比较粗浅我今天就问了一些大问题，问了一些复杂的问题，看看 Annie 能够走多远事实证明它确实可以走很远关键还是要看你怎么去问。